Welcome in, my beautiful souls, to a quick daily read for Friday. Almost forgot which day we were about to read for. Let's do some shuffling and jump right into the tarot. That was a lot. But the Hermit card and the King of Swords, as well as the Two of Cups and the Lovers card. Okay, and then as well pairing together, we have the Page of Swords, the High Priestess, and I'm going to take the Ace of Swords as well. All right, so we're beginning with these two energies, speaking upon you being an intelligent soul and reflecting strategically throughout this period. And I want to say surrounding Friday as well. But it feels like a time for you where you're glowing in certain ways or at certain points, and people are noticing this. A feeling of you being pushed to more so take care of yourself, to enhance that glow or bring it on back when need be. I do feel as well there's a point in the day where you're going to look at an animal, some of which is specifically going to be an owl. Now, this doesn't have to be, of course, an actual owl in front of you or, in a tree, but say it's on a building, an advertisement, it could be a picture online, you name it. But I do feel as if you're going to want to, climb to Mount Everest is what I just heard. A feeling of you wanting to go the distance, wanting to challenge yourself. But they're saying there's a balance that needs to be implemented and utilized to your advantage, even with that motivation to improve, to accomplish, and to even overcome when need be. But there may be a focus on a connection for you, a love-filled one. It could be, for some parental, if I could even spit it out, parental. But I do feel as if for some this is a relationship. You may feel a bit of a disconnect from this person at a certain point throughout this Friday, but know that this is purposeful. It feels like maybe you and or that other individual need to go through some necessary healing or transformation in one if not multiple ways without the influence of the other one. Does that make sense? And this doesn't have to feel negative. But the Ace of Swords, Page of Swords, and the High Priestess. As I take a hot second to catch my breath and sort through the messages coming through, key wording, I feel like this is a day of clarity, illumination, seeing the way as they just showed a path very lit up, almost like fireflies, okay? It feels like it's a time for you to see the way towards better, towards more, towards easier days as well. It's a feeling of this collective being drawn to this reading. Spirit's saying, hasn't it felt busier recently or easier? Let's rephrase that. Hasn't it felt busier and or easier for you in certain ways? Well, get ready for your path to even become more busy and a lot easier in order to see things simply work out for you. I feel like you may as well gain clarity on a past difficulty or two, and we want you to remember that you did not need to deal with that in order for things to work out, okay? It feels like you're going to be a little bit spiritually messed with here and there throughout the day, but you can handle it. Not to say that you should have to, but it feels like it's a day of caring abundance, okay? It feels like people are noticing your caring nature, therefore you're receiving money, an opportunity or two. You're receiving accolades in one if not multiple ways. I do feel like as well, you're being reminded that karma does exist, right? Negative, positive, and the in-between. And so just remember to always do the right thing, okay? Take that caring big heart of yours and put your best foot forward. That's the message coming through. And don't let other people and their negativity in rude, cruel ways change that for the life of you. Interesting wording. I feel like it's a day when you try to do something strategically and it doesn't work out. Know that that's purpose, all right? It feels like kind of like with these readings, at times it's frustrating when I try to do a reading and I slip up and I have to start over at times, time and time again. But then I think back to it, it's like as much as that was annoying and time consuming, there were messages that I got from each attempt, or some of which, and then I was able to, apply it in the final result. But I feel like it is a day where you're feeling a bit burnt out, all right? We're not going to pretend like you aren't. But what can we do to feel a bit more uplifted, more glowing once again? It feels like you're needing to remember why something burnt you out, okay, in the past. Regardless of how far back this rewinds for you, this is going to help you take better care of yourself and avoid BS moving forward. As they just pushed me to drop that, Okay, I just heard, as that was a spiritual messing with kind of moment, another spirit utilized that to the advantage of the reading, saying we're dropping this wounded warrior sort of status, all right? You don't need to feel this way anymore, or in general. But I feel like you're going to need to notice how wealthy you're meant to be as well, because it feels like you don't fully get it. Even if you think you do, and wealth comes in multiple forms, not just finances, you're going to need to gain clarity in a very spiritually connected and guided way on the wealth that lies ahead. It's time to start to take the blindfold off and notice that things are meant to work out moving forward, regardless of how much you still deal with behind closed doors specifically. And I want to say out in the open. You might feel like at a certain point throughout this day, or maybe it's more of a reflecting upon in the past, when you were just trying to do something simplistic, say go for a ride, commute to somewhere, and it felt like you were a show, people were watching you. I mean, that happens to me all the time when I'm in public due to my spirituality, but you're going to find that this is taking a huge focus, all right? You're needing to be noticed in a positive light. The work that you're putting in and you have in the past is definitely leaving you with a sense of encouragement is what I'm getting. For other people maybe, but definitely for you at the very least. It's this feeling of you seeing things work to your advantage and maybe assist other people all the meanwhile, regardless of how that looks and what that is for you individually. And then you're motivated to do more. That's what it's all about, right? But find the balance in it all. If you need to take a day moving forward, then take a day. If you need to take time to rest between accomplishments, then take time to rest. If you need to splash some cold water on your face to get up and begin your day in a more refreshed manner, then do so, right? I don't know why that example came through. I'm hearing because it works. But there's this bold way about you as your cup does overflow in certain ways in a very abundant manner. And I feel like you need to recognize that this is spiritually affected, right? Energy affects you. I feel like being drawn to this reading, even if you don't think so or want to label it as that. But it feels like a day where you will, to an extent, if not fully, want to clean things up in your life. Good, roll with it. Again, find the balance and don't overdo it. But this could come in the form of, physical items to manifest, interesting, to organize, but as well, it could be habitual, right? It could be in regards to your finances for some. I do feel like there's at least one financial habit of yours that we need to remove. But it does feel like as well, we're going to give you some good news on a new situation moving forward, all right? Somebody you're buying a new car, somebody you're buying a house or getting a new place to live otherwise. This could as well be in regards to someone you're meant to connect to in a new way. I just heard Tinder for somebody, but it does feel like you're going to feel passionate. Good, roll with it. This is a day where you're meant to gain clarity and powerful illumination once again. Let it help you move forward with confidence.